A form of prayer that was used by Saint Benedict in teaching his monks how to pray out of the scriptures is called Lectio Divina. The Latin words mean divine reading, or at the spiritual level, God speaking to the hearts of his people. In the scriptures, there is a beautiful example of Lectio Divina in the encounter between Jesus and two of his very good friends, Martha and Mary, in the 10th chapter of St. Luke's Gospel. Jesus entered a village where a woman whose name was Martha welcomed him. She had a sister named Mary who sat beside the Lord at his feet, listening to him speak. Martha, burdened with much serving, came to him and said, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me by myself to do the serving? Tell her to help me." The Lord said to her in reply, "Martha, Martha, you are anxious and worried about many things. There is need of only one thing. Mary has chosen the better part, and it will not be taken from her." And so the Lord expressed his great preference and his great pleasure at his friend Mary, who sat at his feet and listened to his words. It is something that God had waited for from the beginning of eternity. And so we are asked to do the same thing. Sit at the feet of the Lord and listen to his words. There are two conditions that are necessary. One is that, like Mary, we have to have enough internal quiet. Sometimes it takes a few minutes to sit in a quiet room and there to simply let our mind empty of its concerns and thoughts and our hearts become at peace. And when finally we have attained that position, we take the scriptures and we will read a passage from it. Best to take a gospel passage from Matthew, Mark, or Luke, and just read the passage slowly, prayerfully, and then let it be. Think about the scene. Think about the people there. Think about the Lord. Think about anyone who may have had the power of God heal them. Think of the crowd, their reaction, their response, how they digested the scene. And then reread the passage slowly, prayerfully, phrase by phrase. And then when you're finished, let the passage come alive on its own. A little bit like a movie that starts with a still picture, and then all of a sudden the picture begins to come alive. The cars move, the people walk, they begin to speak to each other. Let the scene come alive. And then when you're finished with that, after a few minutes, read the passage again, slowly, prayerfully, always asking the Lord, what do you want to say to me? What do you want to show me? And then after you read it a third or a fourth time, see if you can find yourself in the passage. Are the disciples there? Are there people who have great needs? Is the crowd somehow coming towards the Lord to receive from him what they cannot find anyplace else? Where are you in that scene? Let the scene speak to you. And that's basically what Lectio Divina is. Not complicated, doesn't have a lot of steps. Sometimes we say 4 or 5, but in reality there are 2 steps. To quiet ourselves and to prayerfully seek, permit the Lord to speak to us through that passage, through those words. The prophet Isaiah assures us in the 55th chapter, verse 10, just as from the heavens the rain and snow come down and do not return there, till they have watered the earth, making it fertile and fruitful, giving seed to him who sows and bread to him who eats, so shall my word be that goes forth from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but shall do my will, achieving the end for which I sent it. God bless you and have a wonderful Lent.